So welcome to Dr. Pragya Mishra online classes. Now today I am here with the second lecture on linear programming problems, that is on the solution of linear programming problem by simplest method. As I told you earlier that graphical method is useful only when we have two variables. But if we have more than two variables, then we have to use simplex method. Now let us see some basic definitions that are used in simplex method. First thing that I have told you, when decision variables are more than two, we always use simplex method. Slack variable added to less than equal to constant to convert it to an equation of the form equal to is called slack variable. So slack variable represents unused resources. A slack variable contributes nothing to the objective function. In the same way, when we have to convert the constant greater than equal to into the equal equation, then we have to subtract a variable from a constant greater than equal to convert into an equation. So this variable is called surplus variable. So surplus variable represents an excess above a constant requirement level, and it contributes nothing to the calculated value of the objective function. Basic solution is the solution obtained by setting any n variables among the m plus n variables equal to 0 and solving for remaining m variables, provided the determinant of the coefficient of these variables is not 0. So such m variables are called basic variables, and the remaining n zero value variables are called non-basic variables. If a basic feasible solution is a solution which satisfies the non-negativity restriction. So the solution which satisfies the non-negativity restriction means the value of the variable should be greater than equal to 0. So that solution is called basic feasible solution. Now basic feasible solutions are of two types: degenerate basic feasible solution and non-degenerate basic feasible solution. If one or more basic variables are 0, then we have degenerate basic feasible solution. And if all basic variables are 0, all are non-zero, then we have non-degenerate basic feasible solution. And the basic feasible solution, which also optimizes the objective function, is called optimal basic feasible solution. So these are some basic definitions. Now let us see the method to solve the linear programming problem by using simplex method through an example. Suppose we have an example we have a problem to maximize z equal to 30 in x1 plus 11 x2 subject to given constant. These are the constants, and we can see here that all constants are less than equal to form. So we introduce slack variable to convert all the inequality constant into the equalities. Now let S1, S2, S3 be the slack variables. So on introducing these three slack variables, the given objective functions or given model can be rewritten as this one. In this form, z minus 13x1 minus 11x2 equal to 0, and subject to the constant 4x1 plus 5x2 plus s1 equal to 1500, 5x1 plus 3x2 plus s2 equal to 1575, and x1 plus 2x2 plus s3 equal to 420. And all these variables are greater than equal to 0. So first we find the initial basic feasible solution. Now when basic feasible solution that satisfies all the constant will be x1, x2 equal to 0. Now putting x1, x2 equal to 0 in the model, we get z equal to 0, s1 equal to 1500, s2 equal to this one 1575, and s3 is 420. And we can see that this solution satisfies all the conditions. So this is basic feasible solution. And here S1, S2, S3 are basic variable. Now we set up an initial table as here this one. This is row 1, 2, 3, 4. And in column, we have first row number, second basic variable. Now we have here coefficients of different variables. Z is the function that we have to optimize. X1, X2, S1, S2, S3 are the variables, and solution and ratio. So this is the table which we have to obtain from here, this one. So from here we convert this into the table of this form. Basic variables are Z, S1, S2, S3, and from first equation in the model we can see the coefficient of Z is 1, and this is minus 13, x1 is minus 13, x2 is minus 11, and s1, s2, s3 is 0. So corresponding to this equation, we have first row as this one. In second row, we have z equal to 0 because x1, x2 is 0 here. And because the coefficient of z is 0 here, in second equation, let us see in model, this second equation, 4x1 plus 5x2 plus s1 equal to 1500. So here coefficient of z is 0, x1 is 4, x2 is 5, s1 is 1, and s2, s3 का coefficient भी आपका 0 है. So the second row is this one, and solution is 1500. In same way, we can write third and fourth row. Now, after writing this, we choose the most negative number from first row. That is called Z row. So, most negative number from this row is minus 13. It means x1 is entering variable. Now, next, we calculate the ratio of solution to this entering column, or you can say from here this is most negative, so x1 is negative, as x1 is entering variable, so we calculate the ratio of solution column to the x1 column here. So here we calculate the ratio. Solution column 1500 divided by x1 column 4. 1575 divided by 5. 1420 divided by 1. So we get this ratio 375, 315 and 420. Now from these ratio, we choose the minimum ratio. And we can see here that this is the minimum ratio. So it is departing variable. So here x1 is entering variable and this s2 is departing variable. Now in next step, what we do, we convert it, the junction element. This is x1. This is column corresponding to x1, that is entering variable, and this is row corresponding to डिपार्टिंग वेरिएबल S2. तो इसके जंक्शन पे जो पॉइंट नंबर है दैट इज 5. नाउ नेक्स्ट in next step we convert it into 1. We convert it into 1 by dividing it by 5. Let us see here. So if we have converted it into 1 by dividing the whole row by 5, and also we convert remaining elements of this column to 0 by row operation. First we convert this 5 to 1. To convert this, we divide this row by 5, then we get here 1. Then we apply the operations, row operations, in such a way that 0 appears in the place of other elements of this entering variable column. So after doing this, we get the new table. So now x1 becomes basic variable. It entered into the table and it replaced the S2, and S2 becomes non-basic variable. So now we get table in this form. Again here we can see the from Z row here, this is most negative number. So here x2 is entering variable. So here x2 is entering variable. Now again we obtain the ratio of solution column to this x2 column. 240 divided by 13 by 5, 315 divided by 3 by 5, 105 divided by 755. So we get this ratio. Now from this we can see here that the minimum ratio is this one. So from this table we see that S3 is departing variable. So here x2 is entering variable, S3 is departing variable, and at the junction point we are getting 7 by 5. So now we convert this 7 by 5 into 1 by multiplying this row by 5 into 7, and again using row operations we obtain 0 here and 0 here. So finally the new table takes this form. Now here we can see that in Z row there is no negative number. So we have reached to the optimal solution, and here basic variables are S1, S2, S1, X1, X2, and from this table it is clear that X1 is 270, X2 is 75, and corresponding to these values of X1, X2, Z is 4335. So in this way we can use simplex method to solve the linear programming problem. Let us see one more example with 3 variables. Here we have this problem and these are the constant. Again we introduced S1, S2, S3 as 3 slack variables. Then the modified form of the model becomes this one. Now initial basic solution will be x1, x2, x3 equal to 0, and through this we get s1 equal to 8, s2 equal to 10, and s3 equal to 15, and z equal to 0. Now using this we get the first table. Now from first table we can see that in Z row x2 is most negative. The coefficient of x2 is most negative. So here x2 is entering variable, and when we obtain the ratio of solution column to the entering variable column, we can see here that the ratio corresponding to S1 is minimum. So S1 is departing variable. And at junction point of this, we have this element 3. So we convert this 3 into 1 by dividing this whole row by 3. And then by row operation, we obtain 0, 0 in other positions of the entering variable column. So finally, we get the new table as this one, this. Now here we can see that the coefficient of x3 is most negative. So x3 is entering variable, and corresponding to this, when we obtain the ratio of solution column to the x3 column, we get that the ratio corresponding to S2 is minimum. So S2 is departing variable. Again, applying the same operations, we get the table this one. Now, again here, we obtain that x1 is most negative. So in this case, x1 is entering variable. Now we obtain the ratio of solution column to the x1 column, and from this we can see that this minimum ratio, we have to consider only positive ratios, not negative. Corresponding to x3, there is coming negative ratios, but we have to consider only positive ratio. So for that, we can see here that the ratio corresponding to x2, sorry, ratio corresponding to S3, corresponding to x3 is S3 is minimum. So here S3 is departing variable. So applying the same process, the junction element for the entering variable and departing variable is 41 by 15. So we convert it to 1 by multiplying whole row by 15 upon 41, and then we convert other elements to 0 by using row operations. So our next table will be this one. Now, in this case, we can see here that in Z row there is no negative coefficient. So we have reached to the optimal solution, and from here we can see that x1 is 89 by 4, x2 is 50 by 41, and x3 is 62 by 41, and Z is this. Now let us see one example to minimize Z. To minimize Z, and we have given these constants. So to solve this problem, we first convert this problem to the maximization problem. So maximization of Z will be minus times of minimization of Z. So here we have taken Z dash equal to minus of Z. So now the problem becomes maximization of Z dash equal to minus of Z. So this is minus x1 plus 3x2 minus 2x3. Again here constants are less than equal to, so we introduce slack variables, and modified form of the model will be this one. Again, basic solution, feasible solution will be x1, x2, x3 equal to 0. Corresponding to that, s1 is 7, s2 is 12, and s3 is 10, and z is 0. So we get this table. Here, coefficient of x2 is negative, most negative, so x2 will be entering variable. And when we can calculate the ratio of solution column to the X2 column, we can see here that the ratio corresponding to S2 is minimum. So S2 is departing variable. Now, the element at the junction of entering variable and departing variable is 4. So here again we convert this 4 to 1 by dividing this row by 4, and using row operations we again obtain other elements in this column to, we convert other elements in this column to 0. So finally we get the new table as this one. Now here from this table we can see that X1 is entering variable. Again using the ratio we can see S1 is departing variable, and after the conversion of this table, the new one, we get this one. So now we are in the position that the Z column, Z row has no negative coefficient. So we have reached to the optimal solution here. So optimal solution is X1 is 4, X2 is 5, and X3 is 0. Since X3 is not entering here, is not in this table, so X3 is 0 and Z dash is 11. So Z will be minus of 11. Again, let us see this example. In the same way, we can convert this in the modified form, and the corresponding table is this one. Here X2 is entering variable, and by obtaining ratio, we can see that S2 is departing variable. So our new table will take this form. Now in this case, we can see here that X1 is entering variable. But when we obtain the ratio of solution to the X1 column, we can see here that no ratio is of minimum category. First row and last row की corresponding जो भी ratio आ रहा है, that is negative, and corresponding to S1 row we are getting infinity. So here X1 is entering variable, but as in X1 column every number is less than equal to 0, the ratio cannot be calculated. So in this problem we get unbounded solution. So this is about the simplex method. I hope this lecture will be useful to you. Thank you.